Let's have a conversation about something that most people don't want to talk about at work, feelings. So remember a time where you had an emotional reaction, where you got triggered by some things. Maybe someone disappointed you, someone believed something you didn't agree with, or you judged yourself and something just triggered you and you got angry or sad or scared. And what did you do? Most of us have sort of mechanisms for dealing with our feelings at work that are like stuffing them, avoiding them, ignoring them, trying to compartmentalize them, save them for later, and you'll bring it home to the kids or your husband. And really, what happens is that the emotions are still in the space, even though we're trying to have a conversation about content. So, have you had that experience where you can tell someone something is wrong? You may not know what it is, but emotions are there whether people acknowledge them or not. And so most of us try to get the work done ignoring the feelings. And it really puts a lot of pressure on people, and things don't get done. And the drama that people talk about at work and the inefficiency has a lot to do with not just owning and acknowledging feelings. Let me give you an example from my own life. I was working on a project with Whitney at Culture Counts, and we were trying to plan a meeting, design an agenda for a project she was handing off for me, which she had been responsible before. And we went into the meeting, and I realized I was really scared, and I probably didn't realize it, but I was getting very focused on let's just get this done. I was kind of had an edge to me, and we kept bumping heads and not really getting the agenda designed. And finally, fortunately, she said, I feel really angry and frustrated here because we're, bumping heads and not getting through this. And it made me go, oh, what's going on for me? And I realized I was scared that I wouldn't be able to do as good a job with this client as she was. And because I didn't want to feel that, I pushed it down and charged ahead, and it wasn't effective. Once we cleared and both expressed what was going on, we got through the work part in about 10 minutes. It was very effective. And when I showed up and delivered the project with the client, I did a great job because that story and those emotions had been cleared. So let me just talk to you a little bit about the science of this. There's been a lot of research that has been done recently around what happens when people actually label an emotion. If you can say, I feel angry or I feel scared, your physiology changes and your brain is less activated, and you sweat less and your heart's pounding less because you actually just label it. That's great news for us because the research is validating our own experience that when ourselves or our clients can just be with what they're actually feeling, they can be more effective and get things done. So let me talk to you about the how about this. Most of us have had very little education on how to be with our feelings. There are lots of words, upset or angry or frustrated, lots of words that describe our emotions, but sometimes we can't separate what we're thinking from what we're feeling, from what's happening, so it's all in a muddle. So I want to give you some really simple tools for you to quickly access what you're feeling. If you were to boil it all down, there are really only 4 primary feelings, kind of like primary colors, and we mix them up and we get other colors. There is anger, there is sadness, there's fear, and there's joy. So what happens is that feelings show up in our bodies before our brains can actually label them. So if you can begin to aware of what's happening in your body, you can know what you're feeling before you kind of think it through. So if you feel a lot of tension or feeling in your jaw, neck, and shoulders, you might feel tight or pulling or contracted, you're probably feeling anger. Anger usually shows up in that part of our body. If you're feeling a lot of heaviness or pressure or tension in your chest, you're probably feeling sad. If you're feeling a lot of feelings in your stomach, butterflies, flipping, sort of an empty feeling in your belly, it's probably because you're feeling scared. And then if you're feeling sort of a bubbly feeling all over your body, you're probably feeling joy. So the next time you're in a situation where it's not running smoothly, just take a moment and bring your awareness to your body and see where you're having the most sort of physical sensation. And if it's here, you would say, I feel angry. Just say it to yourself, wow, I'm feeling angry. Or here, I'm feeling sad. Or in your belly, I'm feeling afraid. Or if it's all over, I'm feeling joyful. And see what happens when you just label the emotion and then go back and do whatever you were going to do anyway. Just see if it makes a difference.